Good evening, traders, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at a company called Nabors Industries, and I wanted to bring some very interesting price action to your attention because it's very similar to what happened back in 2020. I played it then, and I got a 20x out of this investment. So needless to say, I'm interested in it again now that it's down at its low price that it's at. And you can see I started this larger time frame because you can see it's had some explosive moves. So just FYI, it's a oil and gas drilling company. They operate in over 25 countries around the world, and they're massive. They've been in business since 1968 and publicly traded. So again, massive price movements both to the upside and to the downside. So now let me zoom in on kind of where we're at today, and I want to show you what it looks like relative to a previous period that I had traded this stock. So back in 2020, you can see we were in this descending wedge, or this falling wedge, right? And then you could see what it did when it came out of it, right? So you had this massive buy volume here, took us up into the wedge, or up to the top, and then it came down and started falling off, and then you created this wedge pattern here, right? This descending wedge. Once it broke out of it, it was off to the races, right? And it was also after we, for the second time, cleared the 150 days. So we're going to pay attention to that in just a second. But you can see how it just absolutely launched into the stratosphere off that move. Well, what are we in again, right? We're in a falling wedge pattern. And we had some really good buy accumulation volume back in the 30s, low 40s, right? But it wanted to go lower. So you can see we came lower. We had this little bear flag. It broke out of the bear flag. And I always like to look back, look left, because whenever you see, when you fail a bear flag, it's usually because there was accumulation prior. So you can see there was clearly accumulation with these long tails. Massive buy volume, the biggest to date in this region, right? So then you had this bear flag, broke, wasn't ready, broke out of it, and then came back down into it. So, a couple of things. One, it's important to note that we are not over the 20 SMA, right? Which is on the chart here. So, important to note, make sure you just note that. We want to be over the 20 SMA. And I think that's coming soon, but we're not there. So, this is a watch list company. You could certainly get into it early. I did. But, there's some things that are going right that are setting up, but we're just not there. So heed that advice, okay? But let me show you where we're at on the chart. So we had these multiple touch points on the top. We had 1 touch point, 2 touch points, 3 touch points, 4 touch points. Generally on the 5th touch point, there's usually a breakout, 5th or 6th, right? The more time you hit a door and you ram a door, you create weakness, right? So that's the same principle that's happening here. You hit it, you hit it, you hit it, you hit it. Finally, you're going to break through it. Same thing on the downside. The more you hit a downtrending or a down support line, you're prone to fall through it. So in any event, we haven't hit the downtrending line or resistance line that many times. We just hit it twice. And you can see we're still in this consolidation. So I am very bullish based on that pattern we're in, the RSI, and this accumulation. And like I said, it's very similar to previous experience I've had with this stock. So what we're looking for here is we want to break out above or out of this downsloping descending wedge. So we want to look for something like this, right? We want to get above the 20-day. We want to rally, probably hit our head here at that resistance, come back down to this area here, and that's your buy zone. So pretty much where we're at now, but you want to wait for the breakout and the retest. Breakout and retest is your best friend, traders. You're going to learn that if you wait for the breakout and you wait for the retrace, you can control your risk-reward profile, risk profile very strongly. You don't want to take it here unless you're super confident that it's going to, and you want to gamble a little bit, but we don't gamble, right? Although I did actually take that position because I really do like the setup. But I will encourage everyone else that's listening to this channel not to take that particular setup and wait for the right way to do it, which is the breakout and the retest. Just having a little fun here. I digress. But yeah, this is ultimately the spot. You want to get out of this wedge. You want to back test it, and that's your entry point. You can put a very tight stop in below here. I mean, you'd have a 10% risk profile with a 10x opportunity. So again, just to remind you, look back, look left, and you see some pretty interesting stuff, right? And you could draw this a few different ways, right? You can make that there. You got your 2 touch points similar to what we have right now, right? Your 1 and your 2, and change this, and it looks more like this. You have more. This is more like a parallel, but you can see. And here's a perfect example, guys. Right? So here's a way to look at it, right? You wait for the breakout of the parallel. You came back, you retested it. That would be the spot to enter, right? So, and we're on the weekly here, but makes no difference, right? Come out, retest, hold it. That's your buy level. Go up, come back down, and you kind of retest it a second time. You get what's called a kiss. But that's the safest play. Do the same thing here. Wait for that breakout. Wait for that retest, and I think this one's money, guys. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully you put this on your watch list. Keep alerts set, and do your due diligence on the company. No financial advice will be given on this channel. It's always for educational purposes and to share ultimately how I look at charts and what I'm doing in my personal portfolio. So, again, hopefully you enjoyed the technical analysis today. Drop a comment. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you dislike. Tell me if you like my joking. Tell me if you don't like my joking. Really trying to improve this channel to ensure that it's entertaining, it's fun to watch, but most importantly, you learn from it. So smash that like button. Give me some love, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks, guys. Cheers.